Interested in deep discounts on travel? Perfect. You are in the right place. Surge 365 is a new, exciting travel club membership. The awesome deals you are about to see are exclusively available to Surge 365 members. All with prices so low they cannot be shared with the public. And we offer an amazing reward credit loyalty program and a 110% price match guarantee.
Welcome to Awake to Oneness Radio. I am Caroline Chang, your host. The mission of Awake to Oneness Radio is to inspire the world to awaken to the universal truth of oneness. Science is teaching us that all life is interconnected and interdependent. And spirituality and ancient wisdom has been teaching the truth of oneness for eons. So science is just catching up. But in truth, we are all connected. We are all one. What you do to another person, you're literally doing to another aspect of yourself. And when mankind awakens to the universal truth of oneness, there will be peace on earth. Today's show topic is Becoming Radiant with Tom Zuba. This is Tom's second time with us on Awake to Oneness Radio. Welcome, Tom, to Awake to Oneness. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm hearing a little feedback again. When we were doing our sound check earlier, I heard it. I'm hearing it just a little, but I think it'll be okay. Okay, so Tom is back with us today because he just published his second book, which is Becoming Radiant. That's the title, but there's a subtitle. Tell us the full title of the book.
So the full title of the book is Becoming Radiant, a New Way to Do Life Following the Death. And I put death in quotation marks, following the death of a beloved.
Okay.
So as you said, it's the follow-up to my first book. My first book is called Permission to Mourn, a New Way to Do Grief. And that book is an accurate reflection of who I was when I wrote it in 2013, 2014.
Right.
So I haven't remained the same. I've grown, I've learned, I've expanded my heart, I've expanded my view, I've expanded my wisdom. So it was definitely time to write this second book.
Awesome. Now, before we dive into the second book, which I want us to do, I want you to please, I know you've been on my show before. Some of my listeners are familiar with who you are, but some are not. So can you please share your journey with our listeners?
Yes, but I'm going to share a thumbnail version.
Okay.
Because it's important that your listeners know what I've lived through, but it's equally as important to know that this is not who I am today, nor I would dare to say any of the preconceived notions that folks have of what someone who's lived with what I've lived with should be like. I'm not like that. So this is what I'm going to say. In 1990, which was a really, really long time ago, my 18-month-old daughter, Erin, died very, very suddenly. And I'll be honest with you, at that time, I thought she did die. I mean, I pretty much thought that was the end. My wife and I went home to an empty apartment. She was our first child. In the following years, we had two sons. We had a son, Rory, and a son, Sean. And when my kids were 3 and 7, in 1998, at the end of 1998, I had to rush my wife, my 43-year-old wife, to the hospital. And on New Year's Day of 1999, my wife, Trish, left her physical body. She went home because she finished everything she came to the planet to do. I found that to be quite remarkable. Yes. So I had a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. And in 2004, when my oldest son, Rory, was 13, he had either a seizure or a stroke. I really wasn't sure what it was. Over the coming months, I learned that he had a glioblastoma, which is a terminal brain cancer. On February 22nd of 2005, this incredible human being who clearly finished everything he came to the planet to do, he dropped his physical body and he went soaring to the next chapter of his many, 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 many lives.
And so, how old was Rory at the time?
He was 13. He was 13. So it was me and my son, Sean, who at the time was 9. That was in 2005. So over the last 13 years, I have done an incredible, incredible amount of work. I've asked a million questions. I've tried on a million different answers. My goal has always been to find peace and make peace with my life. I am very, very grateful to be here. And I'm really, really happy to be able to do what I do. I teach people a new way to do grief, which creates a new way to do life. And what I say is, we did not come to the planet to suffer. That's not why we came. We actually came to be radiant beings of light, which is what we are. We just forget. We just forget.
Yes.
So the death of someone that we love, it cracks us open. And it's our invitation to really, really step into who we are.
That is so true. That is so true. It's and you know, part of my journey is also I have a son in spirit, Kyle, and he was 29 when he left his body, when he finished his work here. And I have, you know, my part of that story is I was blessed because when he did transition, I knew he was not leaving. I knew it was his soul plan. I knew it was a plan he and I made together. So I was at peace with his leaving because I knew he wasn't leaving. His body wasn't going to be here, and I couldn't fuss at him to clean his room and to do the things I wanted him to do that he didn't want to do. But I knew he never left. He's never left me for a minute. And now that he is in spirit, he's with me all the time. You know, when he was a young man living his life, it's like, okay, Kyle, where are you? You know, but now I know where he is. He's with me all the time. And you and I had the honor of meeting in person at the first Helping Parents Heal conference in this past April. And it's like you said, it's an awakening. We come here, we actually choose to forget who we are. And that's a choice. And we come here and we are courageous souls. The book, Your Soul's Plan, which was very inspirational to me. I was reading that book the last month of Kyle's physical existence here. And that book was originally named Courageous Souls. Because all of us that come here, we choose to. It's a soul choice. And it's a very courageous choice to do what we do, to forget who we are, to forget our connection to the oneness, to connect the connection to God, the divine, to the universe, to all that is. My word for God is all that is. There is nothing not God. There's nothing outside of God. But now, please share so much more. So before you get into the new book, let's recap on the first book, which is Permission to Mourn.
So the message of the first book is that most of us do what I call grief the old way. What most of us do, because we saw our parents do this, and other family members and friends. It's what most Americans do. We will do whatever we possibly can to avoid pain. We will numb ourselves. We will pretend. We will repress. We will deny. We will do everything we possibly can to keep all the different ways that grief expresses itself at bay. When the truth of the matter is, as you said, God is all that is. God is in the center of the pain. God is in the center of the grief. So is our beloved. And talk about courage, talk about courageous souls. It takes courage to walk through the fire. But when we walk through the fire, we emerge as completely different human beings, much more in line with who we were when we came to the planet.
Yes.
So what I'm offering is a new way to do it, a new way to deal with the death of our beloveds.
Yes. It's so beautiful, so true, so true. So let
me stop you for a second, because in the very last chapter of the book, I dare to say that we were born to be radiant, not in spite of the fact that someone we love died, but because of the fact. It's for many of us, it's the door, the death of our loved one, and I'm using death in quotes, but the transition of our loved one, it's the door we pass through to become who we came here to be. I firmly believe that.
I do too. I do too. And it's so crazy. I've said this before, that what we consider our hardest challenges in this life, our greatest sadness in this life, these are the things that are actually our biggest blessings. And I know it sounds so hard, someone who is listening to this, who has lost a loved one that's so dear to them, or that has a loved one that transitions, like you said. I don't like using the word death or loss or any of those words, but I do use them on occasion because that translates in our language. But I know, like I said, I knew I was at peace when my son, my only son, transitioned and left his body, because I knew he wasn't going anywhere. And I knew that this was an agreement he and I made in before my embodiment, and that when you know it, to me, a knowing is what gives you that peace you talked about. When you know that they're not gone, they're always with you, and you will be in quote unquote physically united again, but their essence is always with you. And they very much want you to know that, because once they emerge again into spirit, they know, oh, okay, I'm not going anywhere. They know, and they want you to know. They want you, their love for you is for you to know that they're okay. They're still with you. You can still communicate with them. And they want you to live your life to the fullest. Like you say, radiant. They want you to be radiant.
Yes. You mentioned the word gifts. So this, what I'm going to say right now, it's a total shift in perception. The pain that we feel when someone we love leaves their body, that's actually a gift,
Yes.
because the pain grabs our attention. It brings us into this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Where I am right now, and I felt it when you said it, and I understand what you're saying, but when someone says, I lost my loved one, I lost my child, I lost my spouse, that feels painful to me. So rather than avoid it, I look at it. Why does that feel painful? Is my loved one really lost? Words have power. There's energy behind those words. So what I say to folks is, if you really believe your loved one is lost, your number one job is to find that person. Find him, find her. And if you say, well, I know where they are, I really don't believe they're lost, then don't use that word.
Yes.
Because even on a subconscious level, that word creates pain. It's important to be really mindful and conscious with the words that we choose to speak, because they literally create our experiences. And so I dive into that somewhat in the first book, the power of words.
Yes, so true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And in my writing, because see, you're 2 books ahead of me, but I'm writing my first book, and it is starting. At first, I wasn't going to start with my journey with Kyle, but 2 months or so ago, Spirit said, yes, you have to start there. And so I am in the midst of writing, and I'm going through that. And when you're writing it, you're reliving it. But I do, as I'm writing, I know how powerful words are, and I always use the word it's funny, because I say what's funny is I always use the word transition when I speak of my son. When I meet someone new, I say, well, my son transitioned 4 years ago. There's so many different people that don't understand that word. I've had people think, oh, he just got out of jail. Like, no. Or he changed his sex. I'm serious. I've had people now, and then I started saying, okay, no, he transitioned to spirit. Yeah, but he's not here in the physical. Then, we get what you mean. But I do know that words have power. And when I meet someone, I always say, I never say I lost my son. I never say my son died. I always say my son transitioned 4 years ago. And like I said, I get funny responses, different. Some people think he just got out of jail, or he just changed sex. I'm like, okay, no, he didn't do either of those things. He transitioned to spirit. So yes, but yes, words do have power. So that's very true. And like you said, those things, those things in our life that make us feel that pain are the things that open us up to do and to be who we came to be.
Yes. People that are living with grief often use the word trigger. I don't like the word trigger. I like the word teacher. Pain is a teacher. Sadness is a teacher. Anger is a teacher. All of those painful feelings and all those painful emotions, they're there for a reason.
Yes.
They are there to give us the opportunity to make a different choice. The choice is always, are you going to choose peace or love? Are you going to choose peace or pain? Yes. Are you going to choose love or fear? Yes. I firmly believe, and I write about this in the second book, that everything happens for us because we are so loved. It's very similar to what you said. Mm-hmm. Everything happens for us. We're not victims. The world is not a cruel place out to get us. We are loved, and over and over and over again, we are given the invitation and the opportunity to learn how to love at a deeper level, at a more expansive level.
In every now moment. Every now moment is that opportunity to choose love, over fear.
Yes.
That is true.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
is so
and it's not always easy.
Definitely. Definitely. But I do love what you're saying. And I know but we're unique individuals. So of course we're going to use different words, but that's fine. That's fine. But the essence is the same. Because I feel it, I feel it from you, that the essence is the same. And it's so true that it is for us, the most painful moments of our life are there for our highest good, to help us remember that why we came, because we came for a purpose. We forgot who we were. We had a purpose, we had a mission. We're here for a reason. And when we're straying from that reason, when we're not really on that path, pain will help wake us up to that path, to that higher calling. So yes.
None of us are victims. We are creators.
Yes.
So if I don't like what is currently going on in my life, or if I'm not crazy about the future, then I can make a different choice.
Exactly. And when you own that, when you own your experience, because for me, life is an experience. It's a movie, it's a play of my own creation. And like you said, if you don't like the movie or the play, you're the writer, director, actor, you're everything. A producer, you're everything. You can change it.
And so a listener might say, okay, that sounds good. How do I do that? What's the first step? And this is one of the things I write about in the second book. Find gratitude. Find gratitude. What are the simplest things that I can be grateful for?
Yes.
I have a roof over my head.
Yes.
I have electricity. I have enough money to pay my electric bill. Yes. You know what else I have? I have clean running water.
Yes. I was thinking about that water.
Yeah. Do you know how many human beings don't?
Yeah.
I have a car that works. I mean, if I'm really, really honest,
yes,
the list goes
on and on.
I can see, I can hear.
Yes.
My voice works.
Yes.
So for those folks that are in the absolute depths of despair and life feels hopeless, I understand that.
Oh, yes.
But what I would offer is get really, really quiet, sit in a chair and look around and be honest. What do you have to be grateful for? Start there. Gratitude changes everything. It moves us from lack into abundance.
This is so true. I started many years ago a gratitude journal. And I used to write in it daily, and there are days now that I forget to write in. But when I start to write, it's just like I could go on and on and on and on and write the things I feel thankful for. But when I'm standing in the shower, I do think about that. I'm like, it feels so good. The water, the clean water just running down my body, and I just feel so thankful for the shower, for the water. Yes, and then sleeping in the bed. I love my mattress. I mean, like I am in love with my mattress. It's got that softness, but that firmness, and it's right the way. And my pillow, and things like that. There's so much. There's so much to be grateful for in every now moment. And my definition of abundance is if you have what you need in that moment. And in truth, we always have exactly what we need in every now moment. We truly do.
I agree with you. And I think it's important that we acknowledge that when someone we love dies, many of us are shattered. We're shattered in millions and millions of pieces. And it's almost like there's a neon light blinking on and off, on and off, on and off. my child is dead, my child is dead, my child is dead, or my wife, or my parent, or my friend. And that sucks us into lack. You know, I focus on what isn't here. I tell myself stories about what will never happen. And many of us know this, but it's important to be reminded.
Yes.
What I focus on expands. So if I am focusing on this illusion that my beloved is gone forever, and if I'm in a place of lack, if I'm focusing on that, that's going to expand. I'm going to create more and more and more lack, more and more and more emptiness. That's why I say, move into gratitude as quickly as you can, because you want to focus on gratitude so that will expand.
Yes, that is so true. That is so true. And when you do, like I said, I started years and years ago, I forget how long ago, probably early 2000s, keeping a gratitude journal, and just every morning, that was my practice, writing down what I'm thankful. If it's raining, I'm thankful for the rain. If the sun is shining, I'm thankful for the sun. Snow, whatever the weather, I'm thankful for the weather. I'm thankful for the roof over my head. I'm thankful I have something. If I'm cold, I could reach into the closet and put on a sweater. The electric bill is paid, so I can turn up the heat, and the gas bill is paid, so I can turn up the gas. So there's so much to be thankful for. Our health, being able to walk, you said, being able to see. And even those people now, we do know that there are people that have disabilities. But even oh my goodness, what fills my heart is when I watch a person with a disability and how thankful they are. You know, oh my goodness, that person can't walk, but he's so thankful. He's in an attitude of gratitude. Or that person can't see, but he is in an attitude of gratitude. So when you can see, if just do the research, you're there, right? I didn't lose you, right?
No,
Okay. If you do the research, so many people with disabilities do amazing things. I mean, you're like, oh my God, I have everything working, no disability, and I can't do that, you know? So, yeah, so it is so, because those people reach inside and they do amazing things with what they have.
The shift is always inside of us.
Yes, exactly.
If I want the outside to change, it has to begin with the inside shifting. And that, on a good day, I say, I can control. I mean, I can do that. I can do that.
Yes.
Consciously, mindfully, with practice.
Right. And what you say about from my spiritual understanding, it all is within us. The outer world is just a mirror. It's just a reflection. But it all comes from within. So when you change from within, the outer automatically is going to change. So yes. That's what I believe spiritually. So, and I say that because what I believe, because I'm not here to have anybody change their belief system or their religion or any of that. I embrace the beauty of oneness, because when I started this show, I got asked, what is this oneness? This is a new religion. Like, no. To me, it's the opposite of a religion, because it includes everything and everyone. There's nothing excluded from oneness. So it's not about changing someone's belief system at all. It's just embrace. My inspiration is to try to inspire others to just embrace who they truly are from within and shine it, radiate that uniqueness of who they are, because we're all unique aspects of God, of all that is. And that uniqueness can only be shined into the world through us. No one can do what you can do. No one can do what I can do. We each are unique aspects that can shine a light for the whole. And that's what we're here to do.
Right. And the truth is, or my truth is, when you shine your light, you give me permission to shine my light.
Very true.
You know, you show me what's possible. You give me hope. You are the teacher.
Yes.
So it takes all of us. I mean, it takes all of us, you know, arm in arm, supporting each other and walking with each other to, you know, continue to expand.
Very true. Very true. Like I was saying with disabled people that do amazing things. They're shining their light for us to see. We're like, wow, that person doesn't have limbs, but they just did that. Woo! You know, so that is so true. We all have something unique, a unique gift to offer the world. And in truth, when we offer that to each other, we're really offering it back to ourselves, because we're all interconnected that way. So yes, that is so true. That is so true. So share more about the becoming radiant, because actually I want to say this show and that the title of your book are actually doing the same thing. It's inspiring us to live our life to the fullest as us, not as people want us to be, or how people think we should be, or like, okay, you should be in grief and you should be mourning the rest of your life. No, yeah.
Okay, that's a perfect intro to one of the concepts that I present, and that is that we tell ourselves stories. We inhale stories about what our life should be like, what the life of a mother whose son passed away is like. For me, what a widower's life is like, what a father who not one but two of their children passed on. And so many of the stories, I would say most of the stories, are rooted in illusions and are rooted in lies. And they're painful. They're really, really painful stories. So when we don't resist the pain, when we actually enter the pain, we can ask ourselves, what is the belief that I'm holding on to that's causing this pain? My son should be here. My son should be here today. Okay, that's the belief that I'm holding on to. Is there a way to shift that? Oh, well, maybe my son actually is here today. Maybe I'm able to communicate with him, and maybe he's able to communicate with me. Let me try that. Are you here, sweetheart? Are you here? It goes back to what I was saying earlier, that pain is a gift. It points us in the direction of choice.
Yes.
Pain's the door we can enter to find peace.
Yes, that is so true. And I like that you say that so much, because a lot of spiritual people think it should all be light and love and fluffiness and to push away the pain, to push away all of that, what we call negative and blah, blah, blah. No. God is all there is. God, like you said, he's in the midst of that pain. And for me, when I want to transform something, exactly what you said, when I want to transform that pain, that feeling lonely, I ask exactly that. What must I believe to have this? And what it wants, the pain wants you to look at it and not push it away. It wants you to say, I'm here for a reason. I'm here for your highest good.
Right. And when I'm able to literally receive the gift that pain is showing up to offer, that pain isn't necessary anymore.
Yes.
So that pain dissolves. It melts away. I understand what you're saying about certain spiritual teachers, and if that resonates with folks, hallelujah. For me, it's about the contrast. It's about the back and forth, because I'm never done. It's not like I'm going to arrive. I'm going to continue to learn. I'm going to continue to expand. And the way that works is I feel some pain. It gets my attention. I open up some more. It's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm okay with that. What I say is, I've already walked through fire, and I can do it again and again and again. I can do it.
I understand what you said. Now, it's interesting because also another belief I embrace is the journey and the destination are the same. So it's not, for me, it's not a getting somewhere because you're already there. You're there. And when you know that you're already there, it's like, oh, because a lot of people live their life, oh, I got to get here. I got to get it. I got to do this, do this, do this, do this to get there. They're always getting somewhere. They're never there. They're never there. But when I realized, wait a second, I don't have to do anything to get there because I'm already there. That the journey and the destination are the same. Heaven is here right now. What
that brings up for me, what that reminds me is when I release resistance, when I stop resisting what is, then yes, then I'm already there. Then I've already arrived.
Yes. And that makes the journey so beautiful because every now moment is you're there. I'm here. And then I'll look, because for me, each moment has something unique, a unique gift to offer in every now moment. There's something wonderful in every now moment. And we only look for that wonderfulness when we know that it's there.
Yes, and I think it's important to acknowledge that is counter to what most of us are surrounded by, bombarded with, and inhale 24/7. That is not the message that is being, thrown on top of us. It's always, we need more. We need to be better. We need to be faster, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
We need to make more money. We need to buy a bigger car, a bigger house. And we're always on this what do you call that? Hamster wheel. I'm trying to get somewhere. But I love the hamster wheel analogy, because where's the hamster going?
Nowhere.
He's right there. He's just right there. But he is he working? But he's right. You're right there. So that's where I Spirit just kind of gave me that download. Journey and the destination are the same.
And in every moment, I am enough. I am enough. I am enough exactly as I am. So true. So I say, because I know there are many parents and people that have loved ones on the other side that listen to my show. And some of them, are in the bed with the cover over their head, crying and can't get out of the bed. And I want them to know that it's okay. That's okay. If that's where you are, it's okay. Don't beat up on yourself. You have to feel you cannot, whatever you feel, if you feel like crying, if you feel like screaming, if you feel like punching a wall, I wouldn't recommend punching the wall because you're going to hurt your hand. But whatever you feel,
Yes, um, do what you feel. Now, I'm not encouraging people to hurt themselves or others, of course, but to release, you must feel what you feel. You must feel it.
So I'm looking at chapter 15 of my book. It's called Crying.
Yes.
And the message is, it's exactly what you just said. It's cry, cry, cry. Don't deny that. Don't shut that off. Cry.
Yeah.
The next chapter is have mercy. Have mercy on yourself, exactly where you are. You're in the perfect place at the perfect time.
Yes. Yes.
Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And if you say to yourself, I'm overcome with pain, I'm overwhelmed with pain, this pain is relentless,
Mm-hmm.
that's gotten your attention.
Yes.
What is the root of the pain? What is the belief you're holding on to? Can you shift that? Can you shift that even the tiniest bit
Yes.
to bring in some peace? The answer to that is yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yes, and that's so true. And it is a process in every now moment. That is so true. And in the best time is not when you're in the pain, when you're in the midst of the pain, in the midst of the tears, to ask those questions. And that is the greatest for me, because for me, my question is, I know everything happens for my highest good. So what I'm experiencing in this moment, this pain, this loneliness, this what I'm feeling in this now moment, it's happening for my highest good. So what is the good in it? And is it true? What the emotion, because you have your emotion because you have a belief. You so question that belief. Question that belief.
And most of our beliefs reside at a subconscious level. Most of us aren't really even aware of them, and they've been passed on from our parents, or we inhaled them without ever questioning them, without ever really taking a look. So the pain is a path to freedom. The pain is a path to freedom. So many people out there say it's unnatural for a parent to bury his or her child. That's not based in fact. That's not based in truth.
That's true.
It's very, very natural. Up until the end of the last century, 50% of children under the age of 12 died. 50%.
Yes.
So I can cling to that belief and that'll cause me pain. It's not true. It's not true. That's just one tiny example.
Yes.
Some people will persecute themselves. I should have been there. I never got to say goodbye. My response to that is, if you feel like you need to say goodbye right now, but in the very next breath, say hello.
Yes.
Hello, come closer to me. Because as we already discussed, they didn't leave. They didn't leave us.
Right. Well, one of the things I know when Kyle transitioned, like I said, I was at peace, but one of the things I kept telling myself not to do is the what ifs. Well, what if this? What if that? What if no, I'm not going down that road of the what ifs at all. I'm going to embrace the what is, the isness, and know that everything is happening in perfect divine order. Yes.
And I would say to folks, if you feel like you need to go down the what ifs, you go right ahead, but pay really close attention and be really, really honest.
Yes.
Because that path creates pain on top of pain on top of pain. And there are some people out there that believe they're supposed to suffer, that their suffering is a sign that they really, really loved, and that it's their suffering that keeps them connected.
Right.
Illusions based on lies.
Yes.
Suffering is not a sign that you loved deeply, and suffering certainly does not keep us connected to our beloveds.
Yes. And actually, I think also some people feel for religiously reasons they need to suffer. Some people,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I always say, why do you think you were created? Why are you walking this planet? Do you believe that you're supposed to suffer the rest of your days here? If someone says, yeah, I think I should suffer, then my response is, then I think you better take a closer look at your definition of God, your understanding of God.
Yes.
Because the God that I choose to believe in did not create me to suffer.
Yes. So true, so true. So and like you said, a lot of those subconscious beliefs, and that's a lot of our emotions stem from those subconscious beliefs, were placed there by parents and by teachers and by society and the news and the mass media and all of that. So I do encourage people, ask yourself, okay, if this is your belief, why do you believe it?
And honestly, a lot of those beliefs have been placed by priests, by ministers, by rabbis. It's okay to question all of them.
Yes, very true. Very, very, very true. I just I really find it interesting when I have a conversation with someone of a different belief system than oneness. And I always want to ask them, and I don't always do because I never look to offend, but I want to ask them, where does that belief stem from? Where does is it something that, is it just from your pastor? Is it just from, religion? Or is it something you've really just digested and it sits right with you? Now, if the answer is, yeah, I've digested it and this feels right for me, okay. But I don't know how many people have actually really, really analyzed their beliefs like that.
I agree with you. And that's one of the gifts of the transition of someone that we love. It cracks us open.
Yes.
In order for many of us to find peace again, we need to go through all of what I call life's fundamental beliefs. Ask and answer those questions.
Yes. And
that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yes, it is. I find myself in conversations, and just by happenstance, with people that are really, really if it's not in the Bible, it's not so. It ain't so. But the Bible does also say, and I can't quote Bible from back to forward, but I do know the Bible says, "Count it all joy." That's one of my favorite quotes from the Bible. Count it all joy. So
one of my favorite quotes is, God is love.
Yes, unconditional.
But I think it's really important that we say not a limited human love, a beyond our comprehension, divine, all-encompassing, non-judgmental love. I have a chapter in the book. I quote Richard Rohr, who says, "We become the God we worship." We become the God we worship. If my God is kind, compassionate, gentle, non-judgmental, that's who I become. If my God is the opposite of that, that's who I become. In my opinion, in my observation, that explains a lot about who we are as a country today. Yes. I become the God I worship.
Very true. Very true. And it does say that man was created in God's image. And I do believe that. I believe that we are microcosmic. My favorite quote, you're not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop. To me, each man is God in his entirety in a drop. We are made in God's image. But like you said, man will actually make God, his God, from his own image. Like, so if he's okay, God is judgmental. If he's, so exactly. He flips it. But my belief is, as you do, God is unconditional love. And I ask people that word, what does the word unconditional mean? Unconditional love, unconditional non-judgment, unconditional forgiveness. And that is who I aspire to be, because that in my mind is God, and I am a part of God and can never be separated from him. So yes, so I aspire in every now moment to unconditional love. And not that we are loved, we are the essence of who we are is love. That is our essence. That's our energy.
And
yes.
When I look at a 10-month-old baby, a 12-month-old baby, a 14-month-old baby, it's really, really clear.
Yes.
Really, really clear. And then we condition that out of the baby. We just put all of our crap on, and it all has to be undone.
Yes. So true. So true. I think of a baby too, helps me for unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, and unconditional non-judgment. I look upon everyone that I would say is more asleep. And being asleep, not knowing who you really are, is not a judgment. And it's not that, okay, I feel like I'm awakening and you're still sleeping. Doesn't mean I'm better than you. I know that oneness means equality all across the board. We're all equal, no matter how asleep you are or how awake or enlightened you are. We're all equal. So, but what helps me to stay grounded in the unconditionalness of love and forgiveness and non-judgment is to think about a little child, a little baby trying to walk. And he falls down. And we're like, oh, how cute. You're not going to be angry and upset at a baby trying to walk. So I look on people who are emerging or still even sound asleep, like that baby, like that sleeping baby or that baby that's trying to walk. I'm like, I can't get mad at that baby. He's sleeping. I can't get mad at that baby. He's trying to walk. That's I just God kind of, our spirit, kind of put that image on me years ago when I was thinking of, well, there's so many people that are sleeping, but non-judgmental, and just love them, just love on them, as best as you can in every now moment. Yeah.
And if we're really, really honest, when we do that, it feels really, really good.
Yes.
It feels good to be kind. It feels good to be loving. It feels good to be gentle. It feels good.
Yes. So true. Yeah. So tell us, give us more of the tidbits in the book.
Let me just.
Okay, show us the book cover, since I don't have one. Okay. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so it's a painting that I did myself.
Oh, awesome. You know what? I didn't know that you were an artist.
Yeah, let me tell you. So
yes,
a couple years ago, I was working on a retreat, and it was for mothers actually whose children had passed on. And one of the activities was we were going to give them the opportunity to paint where they thought their children were.
Okay.
It's like, where are they now? You know, what does that look like to you? What does that feel like to you? So I
Right.
decided that I would do that. It's like, what's my visual image of heaven?
Yes. Oh
So
my
it's
goodness, that's beautiful.
light. I mean, it's
Yes.
light. It's light. It's swirling, swirling, swirling light.
Yes.
I talk about forgiveness. I mean,
Mhm.
how important it is to forgive everyone for everything, you know,
It's so
all the
important.
time.
Yes. That is so important. It is. And I mean, you know that we met at the Helping Parents Heal conference. And I was at a Helping Parents Heal meeting in New York City the first week of June. And I met a father there whose son transitioned just this past May. He was 22 years old. And the father, he calls me every now and then and just wants, I guess, guidance. And his question to me is, how do you forgive? So because he holds someone responsible for his son's quote unquote untimely death, which we know everything happens in perfect divine timing. There was no person comes into this existence or leaves out of this existence not at the perfect time. But so he's working on it. And it's very, very new. It's just a few months that his son is now in spirits. And he's really working very hard. So he's like, but how do you forgive? And I actually was telling him, I did a show recently, because after he asked me that question, I was doing a show, an upcoming show on exactly that, where a father has forgiven the 14-year-old that took his son's life by gang violence 23 years ago. And he's actually went to visit this who's a young man now, who's in prison, and has a job for him, waiting for him when he comes out. And he went to prison. He went to prison looking to see a murderer. And when all he could see was his own reflection in his eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would encourage that father to get really, really quiet and talk to his son in spirit.
Yes.
And ask his son, you know, really, really clearly, where are you? Mm-hmm. What is it like for you to be where you are right now? If you were given the opportunity to come back to this planet in your physical body, would you? Mm-hmm. What do you remember about the event that freed you from your physical body? What do you remember? My hunch is, in spirit, his son would say, you know what? I don't really remember it. So I would say to the father, why are you reliving it over and over? In essence, you're killing your son many times every single day. Why? And I would ask the son, mm-hmm. Have you forgiven? Have you forgiven?
Yes.
The other person? And my hunch is the son would say, there's nothing to forgive. There's nothing to forgive.
So true.
So we can gently walk through, you know, all those beliefs, all those illusions that we've created, and we can find peace and gratitude Yes.
Peace.
Because the truth is, what 99% of the people that I've worked with will say, they wouldn't come back. They wouldn't come back. As much as I would like them to be back, they wouldn't. And I would never pull them back for my sake, because that would be really selfish.
Yes, I agree with you 1,000%. I've only had 2 readings since Kyle's transition. And in my second reading, Kyle said he would not do a thing differently.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
I don't know why we do this, but we fixate on the circumstance of someone leaving their body. And we have created a hierarchy of what's appropriate and what's inappropriate, what's desirable, what's undesirable. I often say to people, if it was death by suicide or if it was a murder, I say, would you prefer that they got run over by a bus or that they were in a motorcycle accident?
Yeah,
or someone slit their throat, or what? Is cancer better?
Right. Yes.
It's kind of insane, actually.
Yes. Well, I love, and this is from Your Soul's Plan, Robert Schwartz, the author of that all death, all transitions are suicide. Because it's from the higher self makes the decision. It's time. Okay, this is what I planned. This is the time I plan to go. And so it's all death, every single death is a suicide. Yeah.
I finished everything I came. I'm ready to go. Next chapter.
Yes. Moving onward and upward. Yes. This is so true. So please, Tom, I want you to share with our listeners how they can find out more about you and follow your work and see where you might be speaking and you might be coming to their town.
Okay, so again, my name, it's really simple. It's Tom Zuba. It's Z-U-B-A. It is not Zumba, like the exercise.
Oh, and I love Zumba.
But it's not going to get you to me.
Okay.
So my website is very simple. It's tomzuba.com. I have 2 books. The first one is called Permission to Mourn. The second one is Becoming Radiant. They're both available on Amazon. You can actually order them at any bookstore anywhere in the world. They should be able to get it for you.
Awesome. And now I know that you do speaking engagements and teaching. Tell us something more about that, where you might be and other things.
So I have a lot of events coming up. Many of them are already sold out. I'm doing a retreat in North Carolina in September, a retreat in St. Paul in October. In December, I'm doing a cruise. The best way is to go to my website, tomzuba.com, subscribe to my newsletter, and then you'll be the first to find out about my upcoming speaking engagements and retreats, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that sounds really good.
Let me share 2 other things.
Sure.
In May, I'm taking a group of people to Italy. We're leaving on May 22nd, which is my wife's birthday. And then next summer, I'm taking a group. We're going to do a retreat in England, in Scotland, and in Ireland. So if any of those things, appeal to you, again, subscribe to my newsletter.
Awesome. May 22nd?
Yes.
Is my brother's birthday.
Perfect. No coincidences.
No coincidences. Yeah, May 22nd, my brother's birthday. Italy, you say?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Now, okay, like you said, no coincidences. Okay, my brother's birthday is May 22nd, and his son, my only nephew, who just graduated Princeton, very proud of him, but also he's a basketball player. He is playing pro ball for Italy.
Wow.
But wait a second. His birthday is May 21st.
Wow.
His birthday was the day before his father.
That's cool.
And he's playing in Italy, and you're going to Italy on my brother's birthday. It might mean I need to be going with you. Okay, all righty.
Well, tell me your brother and your nephew's names.
Okay, my brother is Thomas Bell.
My name.
Thomas Bell, and my nephew is Amir Bell. Amir Bell. Yes, he's. I'm extremely proud of him. Just got his undergrad degree from Princeton University, and now is playing pro ball in Italy. So
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes. I think I really need to go because I need to see him play in Italy. So yes. Yes, I am definitely. I'm going to your website right now. Awesome. Well, this is again, I've always, you are now a dear friend of mine. I hope you know that,
Thank you.
So we will definitely always be in touch. I love you so much. Thank you so much for, again, sharing your wonderful wisdom with our listeners.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay,
All righty. We'll stay in touch. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, you've made a decision to be a Surge Business Associate. But why not become a member too? Of course, it's totally optional and not required by any means. But how can you sell what you haven't tried? The membership is amazing. Traveling like a rock star for pennies on the dollar, taking advantage of weekly specials, bonus weeks, and bonus credits for every single transaction. It's a no-brainer. In fact, many people pay for the membership by just taking one trip. Oh, and another reason? When you become a member, you get 10 easy travel buttons for free. That's a $100 savings right there. So what are you waiting for? Let's get serious and get you a real membership. Just click the button below to join now.